Every few years, 5 or 6 years to 10 years, we have a different influx in a drug coming through, and really causing a lot of devastation when it comes through. We saw for a time period it was cocaine, heroin, crystal meth, methamphetamine, party drugs, and in the last 3 to 4 years we've seen a huge increase in fentanyl. And fentanyl, unfortunately, it's a synthetic painkiller, similar to heroin, but a synthetic form of heroin, but 10 times more toxic than heroin, 100 times more toxic than morphine. And if somebody unknowingly takes fentanyl, or even knowingly and is not aware of the content of what they're taking, it can have huge consequences and cause the death in a lot of people.
It's everywhere. It's in just about everything. Some people like it, others don't. But I mean, you don't. You have to ask. People have to ask when is this got fentanyl in it or not? Because some people don't want to touch it, and others they want more fentanyl the better. Like I said, you can have the same bag of dope, and you buy off the same dealer, and one end of the bag's gonna be stronger than the other, and you'll have no problem with the first one, and the second one will drop you.
Predominantly here at St. Paul's, which the patients that I treat, a lot of them really aren't aware that they've even consumed fentanyl, which is terrifying. It's showing up in their urine drug screens, and they're telling me that they either thought that they had recently used heroin or some prescription pills that they bought off the street, or even we're seeing it surface in stimulant users. So they weren't even aware that they had ingested any opiates altogether, but it seems to have been mixed or adulterated with some of the crystal methamphetamine that's in the illicit drug market.
There's really no heroin on the street. I've had different conversations with different people and different agencies and stuff. And fentanyl right now, like the heroin, the street heroin, it's actually fentanyl being passed off as heroin.
I've not seen anything like this, and the numbers are so worrisome. To actually have the highest number of overdose deaths ever recorded in BC, which we had last year, and then to see what's happening in 2016. Already we've had over 200 deaths, which makes us on track in the first quarter, which makes us on track for 800, which is very, very high compared to what we have seen previously.
So when we look at fentanyl, a lot of what we see now is powdered fentanyl coming in from overseas, coming from China, being brought into Canada, and then pressed into pills. And we saw for a while that OxyContin, oxycodone was a drug that was being used, a prescription drug that was being abused by people finding it in their parents' medicine cabinets. And now we don't see that anymore. What we see, if you find an oxy tablet, green meanie, whatever you want to call it, on the street, it's fentanyl. It's pressed fentanyl into a pill form. People think they're taking something that's prescription, something that's regulated, and it's not. You're basically gambling with your life.
From what I've heard, there's lots of chemists making it and doing synthetic fentanyl. That's where a lot of it's coming from. People, the dealers love it because the guys are getting people hooked on this shit. It's extremely addictive. Like, it really is. Look how fast everyone's scurried away tonight. 5 minutes after the meeting, you put money in their hands. Every addict's out on that street, that money's gone and going to the dealers and it's going right up their arm.
So we're finding it in people who are injecting. We're finding those people dead, and we later find fentanyl in their system. People who are smoking, snorting, we'll find it in their system. So it's not just pill ingestion, and I think it's important that people know that. If they think, well, if I'm injecting, it's not going to be fentanyl, it could be.